What's up, guys? Jacob here, making another video, okay? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about fasting. But before we get started, I'm going to do some reading, okay? Some reading that kind of ties in to what we're going to talk about. And this reading is going to come from the Bible, okay? This is coming from the book of Luke. It is going to be chapter 12, verses 22 through 32, okay? But with this, I'm going to kind of just read the areas that I have highlighted in here, okay? So right here it begins. The topic is do not be anxious, okay? And this is Jesus speaking here. It says, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to your lifespan? If then you are not able to do as small a thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest?" Okay, and then going over to verse 29, it says, "And do not seek what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek His kingdom, and these things will be added to you." Okay, so, I wanted to kind of share that as it relates to fasting. Okay, and the reason I want to talk about fasting right now is because my new challenge or my new practice starts today. And essentially, today is the beginning of Ramadan for the Muslim religion. Okay, and so essentially Ramadan for Muslims is this period of time to where you take about 28 days of fasting to grow and develop your relationship with God. And the God that they worship is Allah, and their prophet is Muhammad and stuff like that. I don't believe those things. I'm not personally a Muslim, but I do see how the practice itself can be really beneficial in growing your relationship with yourself and with God. It's not necessarily that to partake in this kind of practice that you have to be Muslim, right? I'm not doing Ramadan. I'm not saying that I'm doing Ramadan because that is the Muslim tradition. I'm just saying I'm going to also take this time, this next 28 days, to kind of grow my relationship with God. Okay, and so how I'm doing this, it's going to be structured, very close to the same as Ramadan. From sun up to sundown, I'm not going to be eating or drinking. Okay, that means no coffee, no water, no food. Okay, I haven't had anything today at all. And then once the sun sets, I'll be having my first meal and a bunch of water. And then essentially while the sun is down, you can have the normal pleasures of life. You can have, the food, the drink, the sexual intimacy, all of these different pleasures that you give up for Ramadan. You can kind of partake in them once the sun goes down. Okay, but while the sun is up, you are essentially going to eradicate all false pleasures outside of the pleasure that you get from your relationship with God, right? And this is kind of a test, right? It's a discipline towards will you sacrifice these pleasures that you've so habitually developed into your life in order to strengthen your relationship with God. And like it said in that reading from the Bible is don't worry about your food or water. Worry about your relationship with God. Worry about your relationship with the kingdom, because with that relationship you will receive everything that you need, right? And during this time with COVID, I'm just kind of using this time to further experiment with myself and further kind of push myself. I just did the 4x4, and this next challenge is going to be more of a spiritual challenge. It's going to be more of a discipline challenge, to wake up every morning before the sun rises and make sure I get my water in, and then to pray as the sun comes up, and then to, throughout the day, no water, no food, and just to dive into the Bible and other spiritual texts, and, and to pray a lot, and to meditate a lot, and to really slow down and find that stillness that comes with being, because that's essentially what the practice is. It's eliminating everything else and just finding the stillness and the strength that comes with being and comes from having a relationship with God or the universe or whatever it is, that you believe. So, I just kind of wanted to share, what this next challenge is, that I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. Like I said, I'm not doing Ramadan exactly. I'm not Muslim. I do not, worship Allah or anything like that. I just think that it sounds like a very challenging and very beneficial thing to partake in, to essentially fast, dry fast during the day, and to spend as much time as possible working on my relationship with developing myself in the eyes of God or the universe, or whatever. It's tricky for me to say God because a lot of people have different ideas of what God is in their head. So God to me is what I'm going to be building my foundational relationship with. Okay, and so through this practice, like I said, no eating or drinking while the sun is up. I'm going to be reading the Bible a lot. I'm going to be reading other spiritual texts a lot. I'm going to be writing a lot, meditating. I'm still going to exercise. I'm still going to try and get stronger. I'm still going to train for certain things that I'll talk about in another video. But I just wanted to explain essentially what I'm doing right here. And one last why. The thing that gets me with this is, if you do something like this, what could happen to your life? And that's what makes me curious, right? When I did the 4x4, it's like, what, can I do it? And then what will happen after? And what I learned is, yes, I can. And what I realized is that, I'm capable of much more than I thought. And I just, with the growth that I've seen in myself, it all comes from diving into certain disciplines that grow my relationship with myself and God. And so if I take 28 days of fasting and just focus on building my relationship with God and having meaningful days every single day, how much of an effect could that have on my life? And so that's why I'm doing this. I want to see what can happen in 28 days of fasting and prayer and reading from the Bible and so forth. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it. I want to develop myself. I want to get stronger. I want to find more stillness. I want to find more peace of mind. I want to become more connected with life and everything that's around me. Okay, so that just to share that is what I'm going to be doing for the next 28 days. And luckily I have a lot of friends that are joining me. Actually, I have about probably like 6 to 8 friends that are going to be doing this as well, and none of them are Muslim. Okay, we're not Muslim. We're not doing Ramadan specifically. We're just doing the practice and the discipline of Ramadan itself. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. Maybe a lot of people will probably listen to that and think that that's the wrong thing to do, especially if you're traditional Christian, I guess. And maybe in others it will spark to maybe do a week or to do 2 weeks or something like that. But I do think all you could get from it is benefit personally. That's what I believe, and we'll find out. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll update you on how's it going. I haven't had any food or water today, and it's crazy. I'm a little parched, but I'll be good. Okay, thank you guys.